Okay, I'm going to explain how to do this assignment for this discussion board. So I have provided in the discussion board the overview about making sure that you understand what the proof types are, and you might want to go back to the proof types where they're explained on that page, and then your instructions. You're going to go ahead and watch the video. I'll post it in a second, but then after watching the video, it says now fill out this practice and post your answers. So you're going to click on this document, and that'll open up this document here. Okay, so the proofs practice is going to be this one. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go ahead and fill out your answers. So you're going to come down to where it says reply. You're going to click on reply. And what I'd like you to do is actually just give me a text reply. So it's going to be, tell me what section you're in. So you're going to say, okay, I'm in the analogy section. I'm going to go ahead and do number 1 and put the bullet point. So this is looking at analogies. You're trying to figure out, an analogy, remember, is something that you are familiar with compared to something you're not familiar with. So you need to pick out those two. So 2 roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by. Well, you're probably used to a fork in the road, meaning you're coming down a road and it splits into 2, right? You've probably noticed that. The person here, though, is using this metaphorically to say that you're going down in your life, and you're coming down, and then all of a sudden in your life you have a major decision to make. You're either going to go this way or you're going to go that way. And so that's the comparison. Let me give you another example. Getting married is like hitching 2 oxen to the same yoke. So what you're supposed to be familiar with is the oxen and the yoke. So oxen is the plural of ox. It's a beast of burden, something similar to a cow, right? And they used to use these, an ox, multiple, so oxen, to plow fields. And the only way you can get them to drag the plow behind them is if you put a yoke on them. And a yoke is a wooden contraption that would essentially affix the 2 ox together to make them a team. So you're supposed to be familiar with that. So you're saying, okay, so when you hitch 2 oxen together, you unite them, you create a team. Hitching oxen together with a yoke creates a team. And this is being compared to this idea of getting married, that when you get married, you become a team. 2 people become a team. So 2 people become a team when married. Okay, and then you would move on to 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. 5 is a picture. You're supposed to kind of know what this historically is way back in the past and what that's being compared to a more recent historical event. Okay, once you're done with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you're going to move on to the next section. So the next section is going to be about deduction. So you're going to want to go ahead and let me know that you're in the deduction section. So you're just going to take off your bullet points on that last part there, and then you're going to say, okay, deduction. And now you start your bullet points back up again. And you say, okay, what's the first one? So bachelors are unmarried men. Bill is unmarried. Therefore, what's the conclusion? So you're connecting those 2 claims together to get the idea of, well, how do those connect? What's the point? So if bachelors are unmarried men and Bill is unmarried, therefore Bill is a bachelor. And then again, you just keep going through the rest of them. Then when you get to the next section, you just follow directions, identify the following is correct, and if they are not correct, explain what's wrong. That goes back to the page talking about statistics, where it said a good statistic is one that tells you when it was conducted, who conducted it, and the sample size. So if it provides all 3, then you say it's a good statistic. If it doesn't provide all 3, then you say it's a bad statistic and what's missing. Then you move on to the induction section, same as the deduction. Move over to the argument from authority. Again, if the following is correct, or if it's not, then say why it's wrong. Remember, in the page it talks about argument of authority should tell you why this person's an expert, so give some sort of background to them, as well as provide correct documentation, the in-text citing. So if it does both, if it says who is this person, and it provides correct documentation, then it's a good argument from authority. If it's not doing both of those, then it's bad, and explain what it's missing. Parallelism, this is asking you to only underline the section that is actually doing parallelism. Parallelism is repeated sentence structure, not repeated word, as you notice. It's actually not necessarily repeated word, but it's a structure that you're creating. So of the people is preposition, article, noun. By the people, preposition, article, noun. For the people, preposition, article, noun. So you're repeating a structure, but it's not necessarily the word. Even though I know the word people is repeated over and over, that's not the point of parallelism, actually. So anyway, find the parallelism sections within the following three there. Moving over to motivational proof, you're supposed to find out, okay, what's desire that is being appealed to? And remember, it's tangible when it's motivational. So when you say, please keep all hands and arms in the vehicle at all times until the coaster comes to a complete stop, you're supposed to care because you care about keeping your hands and your arms. Like, you don't want that ripped off in a roller coaster ride, right? So that's what you're supposed to care about. And we can see a hand and an arm. We can touch a hand and an arm. That makes it tangible. So go through the list and see what's appealing to with that desire. Now, value proof is similar, except it's intangible. So you want to find out, okay, what is the concept or idea that is being appealed to? So it says enlisting after 9/11. Okay, well, why? Why would you care about that? You have a sense of patriotism, and patriotism is concept, right? This is an idea. You can't necessarily see patriotism. You can see examples of it, but not actual patriotism. So that's what you want to go through the rest of these and say, okay, what intangible desire is being appealed to in this section? But like I said, I would like you to fill it out this way. Please do not attach the document. I do not want you to attach the document. I want you to just do the bullet points and just provide these little headers saying what section you're in, deduction, analogies, etc. And then you just post it, and that's it. All right, I hope that helped. If you have any questions, let me know.